we're going to talk about a form of reciprocal connectedness called attunement. And this is what it looks like. Okay, this mother and this baby are in a process called attunement. His eyes and her eyes are locked together, not locked together, but dancing together, really. And in this child's brain, 1,000 connections per second are being formed. And this child is learning to read facial expression. This child is learning about the world. He's learning that the world is responsive or not responsive. He's learning that he can be an object of delight, that he can delight others. He's learning what he's worth. He's learning what the world is like. He's learning so much so quickly that we can't even conceive of it. This interaction is critical for human development. Without it, you're impaired in so many ways. I can't even begin to speak of them. Some of them you see in your courtroom. And so what happens is impulse, the mother, by the way, is being changed as well. Oxytocin is being secreted. She's learning. She's actually in an altered state. And you moms and dads know that, right? When you're in that state with a kid, especially at that age, and they're gooey and all that stuff, you're in a reciprocal interactive state that is the foundation of empathy. Okay. So the impulses come in through the eye, they go to the visual cortex, they come up here to the limbic system, then they go up here to the frontal cortex, and the whole brain, it's not just one place that empathy resides. It resides all over the brain, and it's a process. Here's another example. This child is learning to, not just with his eyes, but also in this case with his hands, and also with his ears, and with a sense of touch and everything else, smell. He's learning. His brain is forming a concept of what other humans are like, what the world is like. Now, when you see this, a number of women and the most secure men in the room can feel a tug, right? You feel a tug. You want to respond to this baby. If that one doesn't get you, maybe this one will. Okay? The point is this, is that our midbrains are also attached, and we're wired this way as well. We don't just learn this entirely to respond, and we want to make it, we want to play with the little thing. You know, we want to, well, you all this, the motherese called motherese. These are my little babies, you know, all that high-pitched, sing-songy voice, all of that. That's universal, by the way, in every culture in the world plays those kinds of games with their children at this stage of development because the child needs that in order to learn the phonemes, to form words, in order to recognize voices and to understand the patterns of speech and to see the reciprocity and to see the fact that they're active agents. This is the opposite of being an orphan or being a kid who's been neglected. Now, what percentage of your caseloads are neglect, in fact, compared to abuse? Abuse gets all the press. What percentage are neglect? I would guess 70%, 75%, 80%. Am I too high? No? Yes? Okay. Yes, the general rule is around 80% in certain parts of the country. I suppose it depends on how impoverished the geographic area that you're working with is. Here's another example. Same thing. Critical. This is what you're looking for. Connectedness, not attachment. Different. Here's the reciprocal play. Peekaboo, peekaboo. The kid is learning object constancy, that the world doesn't go away. See, there's no way that a child would know a priori that the world hasn't vanished when it leaves its field of vision. But with this game of peekaboo, which is played around the world, the child's brain learns all these things.